Alright guys, a nice day. I'm going to do some work on one of my tractors out here. This unit here I bought. I had a couple of them with loaders. I got two loaders here. And this motor here, I know it's got a problem. It's a P-series motor, which is a newer motor. And I can't get it to turn over. And you can see they put a bracket here. So the P-series motors bolted to the head, the starter, and a lot of times what happens is the mounts crack and then the starter gets loose. They do make a B-series pan that has a different starter that bolts to the pan, that I could either put that type of pan on there or weld this. But before I pull the motor out and do that, I want to pull the plugs out and see if I could turn it over and see if I got compression. If I got good compression, then we could pull this motor out of here, drain the oil, flip it upside down, and fix that starter somehow so it turns over. We have to check the compression. So we're going to do that. Haven't done a video in a couple of days, so this is probably something. Doesn't have an hour meter, so I don't know. I don't know if this is an original motor or not. Let's take a look. I think this is an older unit. No, there's no identification on it, so I don't know what year it is. But I'm not too worried about that right now. I do have a bunch of parts units, and I'm just going to see if I can get it to run. See if we can get it to turn over and find out what's going on with it. I want to check the oil. I think I got to add a little oil to it. It's a little low on oil, so we'll add a little oil in it. See if it even turns over. We can get compression. If we got good compression, then I know it's worth playing with. Got my cart out here. Just today's a decent day, like 40 degrees, so we'll start working outside, doing some shit outside. Got power right here. Got a whole bunch of units out here. Alright, we're gonna get a little oil in this thing. We're gonna pull the plugs, get a little oil in it, and see if we could we got compression. I'm using a 1540 diesel stuff. It's actually good oil, that diesel oil. It's got extra additives in it, they say. Just want to make sure we got oil in it. I'm not going to be. I got to add more. Just, like I said, we're just checking compression. That's it. See if the motor's worth anything. See if it's even worth playing around with it. Might not be. Alright, we got oil in it now. It's full. See it? We're going to have to dump the oil out anyway and change the oil if the motor's any good. So what we'll do is we'll pull the plugs. And I'm thinking that I could spin it over from the front there with a drill. Let's see if these plugs will come out. Alright, I got the air hose out here. You don't want any shit getting down inside the cylinder, right? I got a cap on a thing so nothing gets down inside there. I'm gonna do the other side. There's a lot of... I don't know if this motor's any good, so I'm gonna find out. Yo, how you doing, Mama? See if we get that plug out of there. It's gotta be 5/8. It's 5/8. See if it... Yeah, she's a little carboned up there, huh? Yeah. Let's get the other side out. Them are original plugs. RS14, them are the original plugs. They look a little carbony. As long as I got compression, should be about 100. Like I said, the motor wouldn't turn over. There's an issue with the starter or the starter mounts are cracked or something, because I did try turning it over about, I don't know, a year ago, 6 months ago, something like that. A little carbony, but that don't mean nothing. Alright, let's see if we can turn it over. We know it's all clean. When we turn it over, we want to open this up all the way. And you want the choke. You want the choke open. You want the choke open. Like that. That's got to be open so it can breathe with air. So you want to get air down in there to spin it over to check for compression. So let's see if we can hook something up on this and spin it over. This is the one I got here, the Maddox. It's pretty good. I've used it a bunch of times on different ones. It works fine. I'll put this on here. We should be able to run it and see what we get for compression. Guys, I got a little different adapter that I could hook onto the drill, because before it was just grabbing on this, it was spinning. So this is a little square end. So I should be able to put that in the drill and get more. It won't be slipping. We'll see if we can get it to come up. Gotta have something that works that's not slipping on me, right? Let's see if we can get it to pump up some more. I'm getting about 90. I like to get more spinning action on that thing, but I don't seem to have the torque. Let's see what we got for compression there. Yeah, 120. Look at that shit. Yeah, that's good. Let's get the other side. 120, that was good. It's worth fixing then, if that's the case. Oh, it's flipping pretty nice out here. I gotta change the oil on this thing yet and all that, so I'm not worried about that. We're just checking to see if it's any good. Alright. Take off my coat. It's getting so hot out. Definitely hotter than 40 in the sun here. It's February. Alright, see if I can turn this thing over some more. I gotta get a good turn on it. Good. Thing's not hard to hang on to, you know, once you get it started. Yeah, 120. Look at that shit. Yeah. We're good. We got a good motor here. We got a good motor. Alright, so we're gonna pull it. We're gonna pull the motor out and find out why the starter's screwed up. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna put the plugs back in so I don't get no shit down in the cylinder, and we're gonna pull this thing out of here. Put that back on. I know it's good. Oh, good, I'm glad. The 2 plugs back in it. I'm gonna have to disconnect the fuel line and the wire in here. I'm going to pull this battery tray out because there's a drive shaft that's connected. I'm going to take this off of here. Take this hood assembly right out of here. Then there's 4 bolts that bolt it down. I'll be able to manhandle it out of here. Get it out of here. This is going to come off the throttle. Choke. The throttle cable's going to come off. The ground. I'm gonna pull this motor the hell out of here. Yeehaw! Alright, so let's see what we got here. All these fuel lines are gotta be redone and all that shit, so I'm not worried about that. Might even have to get another fuel pump for it, but I'm not sure. We don't wanna ruin anything. Might be able to reuse some of this stuff, so. We wanna go easy with it if we can. We don't wanna ruin nothing, right? Make a little cut in this fuel line here. This is, see if we can get it to pop off of there without wrecking the thing, right? I'm gonna put all new fuel lines on it anyway. They're all rigid and they're no good. We'll do that another time. Not worried about that right now. Alright. Disconnect this. That's for the lights. This is the front lights. There's the lights. We got another plug here for the. And this goes down to the PTO, front power takeoff. And then that goes to the starter. That should be fine. It's all disconnected. The other side we got to get is I'm gonna take that battery tray out of there too. We got that disconnected. We gotta disconnect this and this ground. Let me get some wrenches. All right, we gotta disconnect this throttle cable here. That should be. I think that's a 5/16. Yeah, that's the size. The 5/16. Yeah. I wonder what the flywheel looks like. It might be all ground up. I'm gonna have to change the flywheel on there. I don't know yet. I'm not worried about that right now. She looks like she might be ground up a little bit. This has got a different baffle in there. It's disconnected. I'm gonna get this ground off of here. It should be 1/2 inch, I believe. Was that 9? That's 9/16. No, it's not 9. I'm curious to see what this thing looks like when I pull this motor out, and I guarantee that it's going to be a starter issue, that this thing's cracked, and we'll have to do, so I put a different pan on there, a B-style pan, or I'm thinking about maybe trying to weld it. I got an aluminum welder. I might try welding it, see how that works. That disconnected, and that, right? That's all disconnected. There's 4 bolts in the front, and then this hood thing will come right off of here. I know it's definitely got a starter issue. I know that for sure. Should be able to lift that thing right off of there now. Alright, there's 4 bolts holding it down. There's a drive shaft. We gotta take these 4 bolts here and get this tray out of here, and then there's a drive shaft in there we gotta disconnect. There's 4 bolts holding it. It could come out. I know those bolts are 10mm. That's a size 10. I just play around with these lawnmowers for a hobby. That's all I, do it as a hobby. That's all it is. I guess I could be doing worse things with my time. I bought both of these 318s with the loaders. What else did it come with? Rototiller. And a couple other things. The loaders alone are worth big money. What does it get, like $3,500 a piece? $3,500 a piece for the loaders. That's without the tractors. Man, what a flippin' day. I don't mind working outside if it's 40 degrees out. I don't mind at all. When it gets down in the 30s, it's too cold. I won't be out here. Like I said, I don't even know what year tractor this is. It's missing the, I think it's an older one, but you can tell usually by the wiring diagram, or the wiring. I think this might have been an older one by looking at the wiring. There is a drive shaft in there. I got a 3/8 socket in there. I'm using this and I'm hanging on to it here to get it out. I got that one loose. See it or not, but it's coming out. There's 4 bolts. I don't know if you can see them, but there's 4. See if I can hold back on it. No. It's gonna come out. Here it goes. There's 4 of them. I gotta get all 4 out. I could make more room with this wiring, but I don't need to. It's coming out. There's 4 of them I gotta get out. And then there's 4 bolts holding the motor down. I'm curious on what the starter looks like. I know there's a problem with the starter because I tried turning it over and it wouldn't turn over before. That's why we gotta pull the motor. Let's see if we can get another one. I don't know if you guys can even see what the hell's going on there, but she's a crusty one, Mama. She's crusty as hell. I wonder if I could. I gotta spin it over a little bit. I'm gonna get it up on the top there where I can grab it. Can't leave the motor in there if it's not. The motor don't. The starter won't spin, so the starter will spin, but it just goes. It's not grabbing. Unfortunately, it's not easy to work on these things. Not easy to be cheesy, Mama. Not easy to be cheesy. And we got one more to get. Then we could. One's coming up. There we go, the last one. Let's see if we get the last one out. And we got 4 bolts. That's bolting it down. I wonder how the drive shaft is. You gotta grease these drive shafts too, because if you get a vibration on the motor, most likely it's the drive shaft. Let's see if we can get this thing loose. Oh, baby. There it goes. That's the last one. Yeehaw. You even see in there? Can you see? Can you see, said the blind man. It's the 4 bolts holding the drive shaft in. The bitch. Yeah, see the 3 notches there? That's grade 5. That's a grade 5 bolt. 3 dashes is grade 5. And these other ones are cheapies. The old cheapies. Try to keep everything together if we can here. You liquor. Wake up. Wake up. Let's see if we could. Drive shaft's free. It's free. Drive shaft's free, so that motor will come out now. See it? Drive shaft's free. Now we got 4 bolts bolting it down. Right there, there's 4 of them. We gotta get the 4 out. This does have a wire here that we gotta disconnect this also. So this wire comes with me. It's gonna come with me with the motor. I'm gonna disconnect this shit. Pretty sure that's 9/16. Yeah, that's 9/16. Was it 5/8? Yeah, looks like 5/8. 9/16. Yeah, that's 9/16. I think the bolts on the bottom are bigger. If I remember right, I think the bolts were 5/8 and the heads were 9/16. Something like that. 11/16 from the bottom. What a bitch, huh? Not easy, mama. I gotta pull this motor. I've been meaning to do this. It's just been kind of on my radar, but there we go. This one doesn't have any marks on it, so this is a standard bolt. One of those grabbing nuts on it, so it don't vibrate loose. I'm gonna get the other side here. The back ones are gonna be a bugger. Looks a little dark and dingy to me, mama. I got a little magnetic tray where I'm putting all the bolts in so I could save them. I gotta hold back. I don't want to do too much to the motor till I make sure that I can get the starter fixed and the thing turns over good. Obviously. Right. Oil change and all that shit. While I got it apart, I gotta drop the pan, tighten up the connecting rods, make sure them are tight. Decarbon the heads on this thing, take the heads off and clean it with a wire brush. We're getting 120 on compression, so that's good. The 2 back ones, I don't know what I'm gonna do there yet. Looks like the flipping belly pan's been ripped apart, or somebody's ripped on it or something. Let's see. This has been bent too, this rod. I'm gonna get down in here, lay down on the ground here. Gotta get down in the ground here, Ma. The grass is a little wet. Is that the size? No. It's not the size. I really need to put something down to lay on. It's a little wet here. She's a little wet. She's a wet one, Mama. She's a wet one. Yeah, what do we got here? She's a crusty one. I got one more to do. Needs a new belly pan. This belly pan's all ripped apart. I wonder why they did that. They wrecked the flipping thing. It's a standard bolt, and I got one on the other side too. Well, that one's missing. That one doesn't even have a bolt in it. It snapped off or something. Yeah, it was a 3-bolter. We'll have to check that when we pull it out. Alright, I should be able to grab this motor and pull it out of here. Manhandle it out. Alright. Should come out now. Just gonna grab it and pull it out like a man. I mean, if you needed a motor pick, I guess you could, but it's not that heavy. Yeah, it was missing one screw there. Got a couple of screws loose, Mama. Let's see, these things are really heavy-duty frames, you know. Drive shaft. That all seems tight. This has been broken. I got another one that's broken there and broken here. See it? I got another one of these, though. I'm just concerned about the motor right now. I like to dump the oil out of it so we can get it upside down and see what's going on with it. Try to get it up on this shelf here. See if I can pick it up on there, and so we can take a look at the starter. Think I could do it? Hey. Oh man! I don't know. Right. She's a heavy one, Mama. Man, dear. It is heavy. See what's going on with the starter on it. Well, we gotta get it apart. Well, we gotta get it inside the garage and get it all apart. To drain the oil out of it while I'm here. Might as well drain the oil out of it, get the oil the hell out of it, because it's got to go in the garage. There's some dead stuff going on in there. Got a nice screen on there. I like that. I think that's a newer motor. It's definitely a P motor. It's an 87. I should be able to take them 2 bolts off it and just drop it. See what the starter looks like. I think I have to take the starter right out of it. See if it's cracked or not. It might just be a bad starter. You can see somebody put this bracket on here. See this bracket? That's not normal. That don't belong on there. Somebody's been in here playing around with it. It don't belong on there. I'm gonna try to unbolt the starter, see if we could drop it and take a look. Probably gonna have to get it in the garage anyway. It is winter time here, so give me something to do. Why the fuck they got that? That's a long bolt or something that goes all the way through the starter. Is it? I think so. Crazy. He's a waker. See if we can unbolt the starter and drop it, see what it looks like. I bet it's compromised. Should be a couple of bolts in there. I don't know if I can get them out or not. I gotta take this off next. There's a leaker. There's a leaker. Wow. We don't want to break nothing, right? Okay. Here's a leaker. Somebody's been in here playing around with a thing. To drop that starter out of there and take a look at it and see what we're dealing with. Yeah, somebody's put washers in here and everything else. Let's unbolt that thing, see what it looks like. $12mm or 13? It's 13. There's a leaker. Yeah, 13mm. Need a longer extension. There's two bolts that hold it in on the P series that go in this way. One on the back. Well, she seemed a little flippin' loosey-goosey there, Mama. I'm gonna take it right out. Definitely felt loose. Might be able to just tighten it. Flipping washers in there. You got washers holding the flipping thing. There's washers in there. They're flipping dum-dum. Somebody's been in here. I can see there's flipping washers in there. I don't know what the hell these are doing in there. That don't belong in there. Yeah, you can see it's all flipping cracked and shit. So we're gonna need to unbolt this, get this started the hell out of here, and we're gonna need to do something with it. I'm gonna have to either fix the This is a bad design with these P-series, these bolts. Alright, so that one's out. I'll drop that one there. That one's out. You can see, you can feel something's queer. Something's not right. This feels weird. There's a couple of things I could do on this. I might just put another pan on here with a different type of starter. I have it. It's coming out or not? I'm just gonna. I gotta take that front fit thing off of it now. Another pan, different starter. A bad design. I knew that's what it was. It's all busted. You see in there, it's missing a piece. This side's okay. It's the back side that's missing. See a piece missing in there? I could weld that up and re-drill it. Either that or I could just put a different pan with a different starter. That's probably what I'll do. I gotta, the starter's not gonna come out until I take all the stuff off it. So I got this tin off, that tin off. I gotta get this off of here to get this starter off. It's gonna go in the garage anyway, but it's such a nice day I'm working outside here. This is all gonna come apart yet. I'm probably gonna take this manifold apart and reseal it. What we'll probably do is we'll fix it. We'll get it started and we'll run it on a bench or something. You know, we'll bolt it down to the bench and we'll start it up and we'll run it in the inside because it's still winter time. You know. Good motor though. It's got an oil filter here. It's got a little hose that goes in here that's gonna have to be redone and all this shit. It's got electronic spark. I don't even know if that part's even any good yet because I haven't even been able to turn it over. There is a way to check that. See if that's any good while we got it apart. Well, look at this. Look at that. Been chewed from my mouth. See it? We're gonna need a new condenser for sure. On the P series, the condenser goes to the positive. On the B series, the condenser goes to the negative. That's the difference. And if you look at this, this is a P series. See, that's bigger than this one. On the B series, the posts are both the same. Same size posts. On the coils are different. That's how you can tell the coils apart. And obviously, look at that's been chewed from my mouth. So that's gonna have to be replaced. We're just getting it to turn over, and then we'll check it for spark. Once we fix the starter issue, get it to turn over, then we'll fix the spark. I've been going in the sauna at the gym. It seemed to give me an issue with sniffles. Maybe somebody had the Rona they were in there and give it to me. Yeah, I don't want to strip nothing out here. Maybe somebody had the Rona. She's a waker. He's a waker. Ooh, there's a little crusty one there, Mama. She is one crusty one. Yes, she's a crusty one. She is one crusty one, Mama. I wonder if there's any mice in here. Got any bats in the belfry? Got any bats in the belfry? What the hell? It's gonna slide back or something to come out. There we go, yeah. Yeah, we might have some critters in there. Some live action. Gonna have some live action there. The critters. Live action with the critters, Mo. He's a waker. He's a waker. That's a 10mm. You want to take all these tins off anyway and blow everything out with air. Make sure that there's no... Well, good. We want to strip it, right? And go easy with it. Hopefully it comes out. Yeah, it's coming out, thank God. This old stuff gets crusty as hell, you know? Been sitting around for 100 years. Chestnuts roasting on open fire. Need an oil pressure switch there. There's the tube that runs the pump. There's a gasket behind this thing that leaks a lot of times, but you can see there's been critters living in there. I'm gonna get this off. You waker. Let me get this coil off of here and somebody's been in here playing flipping games. We've got some critters living in there one time or another. Alright, I got this thing off of here. It's flipping. I had a shim in there too. Somebody's been in here playing around, putting shims and whatnot in there. I want to show you why it was flipping loose. She's loose as a goose, Mama. There's all kinds of critters in here. I had to unbolt this to get it off. you know what it is? This hose is holding it. I gotta put a new one in anyway. You like her? That's the fuel pump. A lot of times I run electronic fuel pumps on these. They run better. You can rebuild these. What I usually do is run an electronic fuel pump, and once the motor starts running, I put a little hose on this thing and see if I can get it to pull through. Got to replace all the lines. It's a good one. You can see it's metal. It's not a cheap plastic one. Alright, she should come off now. You go wake her. Put the wildlife in there. Gotta take it apart, clean all that shit out anyway. You go wake her. Flywheel don't look too bad. You give it a good douche. Give it a little douche, mama. Give it a little how you doing. Yeah. Look at the starter. See the starter bolts? How they broke away? It ain't never gonna work. I'm just gonna put a different pan. I'm gonna put a different pan in the starter bolts to the pan. I'll put a, I got another pan for it. Seeing that one's really bad. I'll show you how I'm gonna fix that. I'll have to go with a different type of starter and a different pan. But you can see the timing marks here too. You could time it from these timing marks once you start. This flywheel should have marks on it where you, with the timing marks, when you start it, you could time it with a timing light. Yeah, don't look too bad. Should be a timing mark somewhere. I'm trying to find it. Timing mark. Yeah, that's the timing mark right there. See that line? I think that's it. Yeah, see, that's the timing mark right there. And then that's 20 degrees. 1, 2, 3. See that line right there? That's 20 degrees. That's where, when the timing, when it's, should be right on the money right there. When you're setting the B with the points, you can set it. Sometimes they're on this. Well, that should be the timing mark right there. That groove. If you got points, which this one don't have points, you could time it with a timing light. When you start it, you can look right through that hole, and you could adjust the points to get your timing before top, dead center, after top, dead center, whatever you want. There's a liquor. I got an oil pan there. We're going to drain the oil out of it while it's out here. I got to change the oil on this thing anyway, so we're going to take it out. And I'm going to take it apart, take the pan off it, and do a bunch of stuff to it. So I'm going to put a B218 pan on this thing. Yeah, definitely needed an oil change anyway, so while it's out, while it's here, we'll pull this off too. Yo, wake up. What a day, man. Beautiful out. February 8th. Crazy warm. She's pretty gnarly looking. Oil. You wake up. Bring this inside and put it on my workbench. And what I'm going to do is take the heads off, decarbon the heads, take the pan off, tighten up the rods inside. I know it's got good compression, but I don't know how many hours are on it. Do some work on it in the garage while when it's cold out. No wind today, so you can see this tube's going to need to be replaced. It looks in pretty good shape, actually. That's for the pump. Just for now, we get most of the oil out of it, right? Put that back on for now, and just for now to get it in the garage. We're gonna put a new filter on it and do our thing to it anyway later. So here's a leaker. Here's a leaker. Starting to get chilly. Sun's going down. February. Can you imagine? Nice and warm for February. Must be global warming. Better hurry up and go buy an electric car. Well, it's too late. So hurry up. He's a leaker. Yeah, it needs. We'll have to see if it gets spark, and we'll see if it gets spark, and put a new pan on it, get it so we can spin it over. It's crusty. That's one crusty one. See, it's one crusty one, Mama. I got a whole bunch of this roofing material. I bought a whole pallet of the shit, old stuff, like $150. I'll show you. So, I mean, it's great for covering up the lawnmowers. I got a whole bunch of them here. Got a whole bunch of more blowers I bought. And this one here is, I picked this one up, this 420. It's got a good motor in it. It just has no spark. It's got like 120 on the compression on both sides. She's a little crusty, but it's got the rear end with the differential. It's got a good motor. The front bracket right there is worth money. It's got a real good motor in it. This motor's got to come out, and I got to put a electronic ignition in it under the flywheel. That's going to be another project. I'll show you what I got for all that. That roofing material. Bunch of this roofing material. Bought a whole pallet of it for like $150. Usually they got one little piece they want crazy money for, so I got tons of it for covering stuff up and keeping stuff out of the weather. I ain't got many chickens left, man. I'm down to about. That's all I got left. Out of all them chickens I had, this is all I got left. Yeah, dying breed. Rooster died. All my other ones died. They got eaten by critters and. So what do we got there? 6, 7. All I got left, Ma. Down to 7 chickens. I got any flipping. I got water. I don't know if I got any eggs. They ain't laying many eggs, I'll tell you. Yeah, they still got water. Not much, but still got some. Motors aren't that heavy, to be honest with you. 20 horsepower. You like a project for another day. You like a